welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks. Today we are geeking out about Stranger Things, and we made waffles. Hope Leather will show up. Let's go! And here we are in the kitchen. We are making waffles. Once again, I'm Boser.
I'm PK.
And today we have special geek guest.
Kai.
This is Kai.
I got excited.
We practiced.
You may remember her from the Game of Thrones episode that we did a few episodes back. Amazing guest. We had to have her back on, especially for something as amazing as Stranger Things.
What?
But I don't want to get too far into the theme song because then we'll get sued.
So we're just gonna be geeking out about Stranger Things, like we do each and every week about different topics such as anime, video games, tabletop games, movies, other fun video shows, like a TV show, like it's on the TV.
Video killed the radio.
That's right. So we're gonna geek out about Stranger Things, especially because Season 3 just aired! Now, a quick disclaimer before we move forward. Stranger Things 3 has come out, but today, it's not.
No, so the day of airing, it is not out yet, so when you see this, it'll already been out. So if we say things like, that's not right, it's because we haven't seen it, it doesn't exist yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
We're 3 days away from the actual release, so right now it is July 1st, and July 4th is right around the corner. So I guess curiosity is that your big 4th of July plans is to just watch Stranger Things?
All day, not leave.
I can't think of a better way to celebrate America's birth
Than to watch
than
Stranger
to watch
Things?
Stranger Things
Which
without
is-
moving from the couch all day long.
Ooh, that is the way to do it.
And it takes place in the 80s, which arguably the best decade. And I was not around yet, but I envy it.
I was.
So tell us, how was the 80s, Kai?
I was 4 at the end of the 80s. I don't even want to hear it. It was the best decade because it's when I was 4. So there.
That decade brought us Kai, aka best decade.
The final month of that decade brought us peak Boser. I'm Boser. You're peak.
I'm 100% a 94 baby. So
94. Oh, you're
Oh,
peak.
you're a baby. I could be your Steve.
So, Kai, what do you love about Stranger Things? What geeks you out?
Oh, I love all things Stranger Things. Just like the whole atmosphere that they create in the show, the whole ambiance, like from the way they shoot it, like the film, they like put a certain grain over it, to the music, all the synthesizers, to all the like 80s references, to like the acting in it is so good. Like the trio of kids is ridiculous. Well, I guess it's more than a trio, but like the main kids in it are so good. It's all just wonderful, and they have a wonderful balance of freaking you out and making you laugh and making you just love the characters.
now I have a question. What of the three main that you're talking about? So that would be Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. Okay, so which of those three are your favorite?
Dustin. Sweet
Dustin.
Sweet Dustin with his curly hair. And
I feel like
his
Dustin's
nose
everyone's
teeth.
favorite.
Because he is. He's so
He's just so
wonderful.
precious.
Well, I think
He's
he's so pure.
And he's hilarious.
I'm wondering if this thing's gonna beep or what.
It's gonna start on fire when they're ready.
Okay, we'll just wait for that to happen.
I'll do it with my mind powers.
So why Dustin? Because he's sweet, you said?
He's sweet, he's funny, and he's just like, he's so pure. He's just so lovely, Dustin.
He is
Sweet
light.
Dustin. Sweet Dustin.
Well, it's just it. I mean, like, and before we watched this, because season 3 does not exist yet, we watched the trailer, and like, there was something nice. Like he'd come home, he's like, I guess nobody but you cares that I'm home, and then all his friends come, and though he did spray somebody in the face, like you can see like the lightheartedness in him, like when he was with Steve in the, I think it's an ice cream shop by the look of it. When they're like doing that like fake lightsaber battle.
Yeah, that's the best handshake I've ever seen.
Also, yeah, season 2 with his whole plot point of like having the baby Demogorgon and him just loving it so much, even though it like killed his cat and like was trying to kill everyone, like he just still loved Dirt. And then just
He's got a big heart.
he does have a heart.
I mean, out of the 3, I mean, there's 4 if we count the one that's always missing.
Yeah.
And 11, technically.
Well, obviously
And 11.
11's the best thing about the entire show.
I think they did a really good job of capturing 80s essence, like
They
80s
totally
campy.
did. Even the font, like that's such an. I remember watching the first episode, and it like they put that grain on it, and even the music
Yeah.
kind of has that little like dip in it.
Yeah.
I think where like the audio, like when you're watching a VHS.
Yeah.
And it was great, and like I can't believe this is not actually made in the 80s. They did such a good job of capturing it.
I read a really
I'm
interesting.
gonna say that one's done.
Yeah.
I read a really interesting interview with the Duffer Brothers, who write and direct it, and they were saying that they like don't do a lot of research on the 80s. They base it all off their memories, which I love so much.
Wow.
And they were saying that some references they have are like on purpose, but then other ones that fans point out are just like from their memories of the 80s, which I love.
Oh, crud.
You didn't
I didn't
spray it.
spray it.
You're gonna have a mess.
Oh, no. Is it too late? I'm spraying the top.
50%.
It's fine.
Better than a 0.
Cooking is my forte.
Remember not to float too much.
Oh. Okay.
It's an adorable little.
Yes. So, for the people who don't watch Stranger Things, why are waffles so important?
Because it's Eleven's favorite food, and it's what she eats all the time, and it's what she steals from the stores when she's starving.
So maybe if we make enough waffles, 11 will come. Millie Bobby Brown! This is your call! Smell the waffles. Smell I actually just saw her last night in Godzilla.
Oh yeah? She was in the new Godzilla.
She is. She did a pretty good job.
Really?
And I mean, really, this show kind of launched her career. And so she's been doing some of the things. Yeah, I think she actually was 11. I went to
Really?
C2E2 a few years ago, and she was one of the guests.
Oh,
And
cool.
she was
Is
like
she British
14. She is.
Okay, fine.
Was she really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And she
I
just
would
came out
buy
with her phone, and she was like, oh, half the time. You're like, what? Be a profesh. Like, who are you texting, your dad?
Like, to be fair, I think she's just nervous. Like, I get that. Like, I think they'll have her nervous tics. And at 11, could you imagine
I hope
everybody
it's
coming to,
nerves.
like, flood?
No.
And not like, I'm hot stuff.
Well, like, 2 years ago, that would have been season 1, right? Or season 2.
It's season 2 had happened, I think. Maybe not.
But, like, I mean, like, so if you think about it in terms of that, you might find... Sorry, I was turning that way, but it was a good impact for me. So if you think about it in terms of that, where she's trying new things, and
Yeah.
she's never been like this, and there's thousands of people at this giant convention just trying to, like, see her.
Is it burning?
No, it looks good. I think it's in good shape.
And it didn't stick.
And it didn't
There
stick.
you go. You had plenty of spray from the first time.
I did.
On the flip
See? That's what I
side,
knew.
back to my beloved Dustin, did you know that he was on Broadway?
Yes!
You know Broadway? I knew you could
He
sing.
played Gavroche
in Les Mis.
in Les Mis. If you're not a theater nerd, Gavroche is the little boy that hangs out with the Barricade Boys and gets shot.
Wow, spoiler alert.
Yeah. We're spoiling everything.
You're spoiling like a 100-year-old book.
And like a
And a 100-year-old
In case you
musical.
didn't go to high school and nobody forced you to read it.
I would be surprised if you went through, I don't know, maybe it's because of the circles I ran in, but like, I know a lot about musicals.
Like, I mean, yeah, we all do. But so the thing I love about Stranger Things is it's like the perfect mix of so many things. It's just good acting. It's got the sci-fi factor. It's got the 80s, and it really like just calls out to that thing in all of us. It sounds really cheesy, but it really calls out to that thing in all of us that, especially as a kid, wished that something exciting would happen. Because it takes place in Hawkins, Indiana, and if you don't know, our show also takes place in Indiana. And sometimes you're like, this is not like the hardest hitting place in the country, where's the exciting stuff? And so the fact that this thing happened, I'm sure if I were in their shoes, it'd be terrifying, these guys chasing you and there's monsters, but then in the back of my mind I'm like, this is so awesome! When I'm on top of a bus
Adventure.
taking down Demogorgons.
But, and, like, I don't know why this came to mind, but like, Stand By Me. The old...
Yeah.
Like, I think what they do in that, like, they capture, like, lightheartedness. Like, even if you took the Demogorgons and, like, the Upside Down out of it, and you just had, like, the lighthearted 80s stuff, that would still be a super enjoyable show to watch. Now, obviously, the sci-fi aliens, like, really sneaks it up to, like, the next level.
Harper likes to eat feet, sorry.
Not waffles?
She'll eat anything.
Even feet.
Feet waffles.
But, like, I don't know, they do such a good job of capturing a ton, like, even, what am I trying to say? Pause. So, like, they have the sci-fi factor and the horror factor, but they also play on, like, drama and comedy.
Yeah.
Like, they're able to grab from, like, every essence, so balanced that there's something in it for everybody.
I agree.
Which is not easy.
So do you have a favorite character, PK?
Me? Yes. Steve.
Steve!
Steve is my
Season
favorite.
1 Steve or Season 2 Steve?
Season 2
Very
Steve. So
different.
I remember, when I watched Season 1, the bits that I got to see, and Season 2 and the bits that I got to see, I didn't like Steve in the beginning because I just felt like he was, the word trying too hard kind of comes to mind, like he climbed into a window, like he was trying too hard to be the bad boy, like, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's what I remember from him. And then you see him like slowly evolve into somebody who's truly a sweet, caring human being.
Yeah.
And like kind of constantly fighting this urge to like want to be. It's a weird thing. Like you're in high school, like you want to be cool,
Yeah.
but you see this group of kids and they're nerdy, but they're fun, and you want to be.
Like, those kids geek out loud, man. I wish I had that.
Yeah. How about you?
I can relate to Steve being like I used to always say when I was in high school that I like suppressed all my nerdiness. Like I think people probably knew I was nerdy, but I didn't like and then the older I got, the more just out of control I am, and now I can't ever contain my nerdiness. Like it's one of the first things you know about me, because that's like I'm literally teach history for a living, and I get so excited, and
You just geek out about it.
I wish I would have done that from my childhood up, because I would have had so much more fun if I would have just like,
That's where I'm at too. The older we get, it's like all this stuff that we're talking about on this channel, it's not new, except for maybe anime. I wasn't into anime back as a kid. So, I did too. I was, good for you. But I wasn't because, like, you know, in high school you're like, that's not cool, I'm not going to get into it. Now, I think it is much widely more accepted. We've talked about this. But I wish that I was like these kids back in high school, that you could just, like, geek out, and even though you're not popular, you're having a great time with your friends. And that's really the important thing.
I love the focus on the friendships in it too. That like even though they're getting bullied and not the coolest kids, that they're like have each other's back.
Well, yeah, and they're playing D&D.
Yes!
At that time, D&D was not like, it was not the cool thing to do. Like somehow, thanks to
like it is now.
like thanks to the work of like Matt Mercer and Dan Harmon and all these other really big personalities, D&D has come to the forefront as I think Stranger Things also had a really big play in this.
Yeah.
Because I mean they have their own campaign now. The people
They do?
Yeah.
I think culturally there was a shift where it's kind of cool to be a nerd too now.
Yes.
Like it's cool to like have your thing.
It's almost like we waited, like you and I wanted to do this 10 years ago, but we're like, no, wait, it's gonna be really cool in 10 years. If you were to say, who would you connect with, or who would you be more like today?
Crazy Joyce. First off, I have to I love Winona Ryder so much. I grew up with Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice and the Heathers, and I just, when I knew she was gonna be on the show, I was like, I literally got Netflix so I could watch Stranger Things. It's the only reason we got it, so I could watch Stranger Things, and it was such a good choice. Firstly, shout out to Netflix. But having her as one of the stars in the show. Having her as one of the stars in the show is such perfect casting, and she brings so much nuance to Joyce. And I love the way that Joyce to the whole outside world.
Click when it's done.
Oh, that's
there you go.
I happened to key in on it that last waffle, and I was like, oh.
I wondered if there was a way for us to know. I hope we have syrup.
That's definitely waffle.
Oops. I'm kidding.
She seems so crazy to the
Right.
outside world, but then she knows what she's doing. And the biggest thing that I zone in, I'm a mom, and the way she just
you wouldn't know, would ya?
Does not. The way that she does not care that everyone thinks she's insane just because she loves her kids so much. She does not care at all. But the whole outside world thinks she's crazy. She just cares about.
I don't care that I'm buying thousands of Christmas lights in July and a new phone 3 weeks in a row.
And I think the way she plays it is, in turn, heartbreaking and hilarious, which I just love the nuance she brings to Joyce.
Well, and she knew that Will wasn't gone. Everybody was trying to say she was kidnapped, but she knew that there was no way that happened to Will.
Yeah.
So that mother's instinct, I think, was
that he would run away.
Yes.
Because that was the first time, he just ran away. She's like, no, not my Will. And then they're like, he was kidnapped. He's like, no, he's smarter than that. He would know.
And season 2, she totally. I love that she loves the boys exactly as they are, even though they're both both her boys are kind of misfits. And she gives him all the art supplies to try to draw his feelings out, and then that's how they find mind flare and all that. I just love
Yeah. She's like, doesn't try to change her kids to be anything. She's
No.
like, that's who they are. And
Yeah.
even though the rest of the world is like, your kid's a loser. She's like, that's right.
And she was
I
a
love
strong
him.
single parent in the 80s, which I think you have to consider that. Like,
Right.
the shift in that, like you always have to consider, like, where it's really common to be a single mom here. Back then, it was a struggle, and like...
And her ex-husband's a drag
Fork.
so obviously he didn't help at all.
Right.
Don't be stuck, don't be stuck. All right.
You're crushing the waffle game.
I am crushing the waffle game. We didn't mean to make so many, but
We're going to anyway.
I found a
We're
recipe.
having a waffle party.
If you like waffles, subscribe and we'll send one to your house. You down?
Post your address below.
Yeah, post your... Don't message us. Literally just put it in the comments section.
I will mail anybody a waffle that does that.
That will not...
Did I just forget to spray again? Ooh, that might be pushing my luck. Oops.
Alright.
Other characters you connect to, gentlemen.
I connect to, well, now, let me think, who would I connect to now? Because, like, in high school, or middle school is probably Will. Like,
I think everybody's had their will phase.
the least cool kid in the group. He's, you know, kind of sensitive and cries a lot.
They call him Zombie Boy, it's so mean.
Yeah.
Poor boy's so
Got
bad.
called names. But now,
But he was really rocking that Mulco though.
Yeah.
He looks
That was not an easy look to pull
No,
off. I
and he
felt
was
bad when I
doing
saw
it.
him. I was
Yeah.
like, look, I know you're supposed to be in the 80s, but you have to rock this in public.
I'm pretty sure I showed him.
Oh, I know. As an Asian boy, bowl cut was in.
oh yeah, we saw on the 90s episode.
Yeah, if
we
you go back and watch it and you pause it in just the right second, it just flashes.
You just go to our Instagram, it's on there.
Is it really?
I think so.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I'll make it. I'll make sure.
We got clicked.
Yeah, click!
According to this camera. But now who do you connect with?
Probably season 2 into season 3. I can only assume from the trailer, Steve. Because
You were so sweet.
if you don't know my job, I tend to geek out with kids a lot, like he does, and sometimes I have to play the babysitter role, and sometimes I'm not great at it. But I will punch an alien in the face with a nailed baseball bat for them. Dang it. I am really pushing my luck. That's the third time I have not sprayed the bottom.
Next time I'll take care of it. It's fine.
Okay, it's all you.
Oh, man.
But like, I'm so excited for season 3 because it just looks so, like it takes place in summer. Who doesn't love summer? It's happening on July 4th, so you know, Happy America Day for all of you that watched it. And it really looks like things. Season 1, the Upside Down was pretty contained. Season 2, it started to come into the real world.
It started to leak.
Now it looks like the Upside Down is
Completely out of control.
completely. It's just now into our world.
The way they left the end of season 2, they could really go any direction at all with it. Because they
With that
really
last
they
shot.
tied a lot of bows on a lot of the plot points, so I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen. That trailer was chock full of
You know, you could analyze it. You could pick
Yeah.
it apart.
Well, I think the trailer did a really cool thing where they were like, it all seemed really fun and lighthearted, and then like for a second, like, oh, by the way, here's this terrifying monster, and back to fun and happy,
And that's kind of like the tone of the show
Yeah.
too. Like I think about there's some such like disturbing scenes, and then there's scenes in it like 2 seconds later that make you just laugh so
Fork
hard.
it, spray it, bop it.
bop it, twist it, cook it.
Eat it.
Yum.
Hope that wasn't too much. I might pay for that later. Back to the questions.
Tiniest little waffle.
I know, isn't it cute? Look at them.
They're so teeny.
Waffles. Then in the morning, I'll make it waffles.
Can we just have a moment of silence for Barb?
This was a very long moment. You feel very strongly about this, don't you?
No, she was supposed to come back.
By
share
whose
2
standards?
episodes.
Barb was just a catalyst for the plot.
That's just
Sorry,
it.
Barb. You're a really good friend, though. I'm proud of you.
super cool friend. You put up with a lot of crap.
You have great class.
Because I think everybody's had a Barb in their life. Where's been a Barb in somebody's life? Maybe
Oh, where
without the
you
death.
You got eaten by an alien and taken to
That
another
happens to me
world?
all the time.
No, I think it's more like, because if I remember right, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because there's like a 50% chance, but like Nancy started getting cool, right?
Was she-
But Barb was the weird kid that was like her old friend from her weird life, like. But
You okay? Are you gonna cough up a slug?
What if that was the whole thing?
then you get was it the demidog? No,
Look, there's a demidog.
Dart.
demo.
Click.
A click.
All the demidogs did remind us of Harper, though.
Really?
Everything reminds us of Harper.
This waffle?
Yes, look at his little face.
That spray?
No. not
That
the
waffle
spray.
maker?
Sure.
So I also love the series representation of like female characters because it has a really sort of diverse array of strong female characters,
Like
especially little girl characters. Like
Barb?
well, but Barb is though. Barb
She
is a
is.
strong character because
She is.
she's telling her best friend that she's being a jackass, which is hard to do, you know.
It is when you see
And-
them changing like that.
And
you're like,
she, like, you know, Nancy told her to leave, and Nancy told her to get out of here, and she just stayed because she was worried about her friend and, like, stayed there to, like, protect her. So, yes, Barb, too. But, like, Nancy, too.
Well represented.
Nancy going all, like, rogue and, like, trying to solve this thing and trying to get the Demogorgon. And then, obviously, 11 is, like, one of the most badass characters, like, ever created. And
Oh, 100%.
she's amazing.
So cool.
And then I loved the addition of, I can't think of her name.
Max.
Max, thank you. I love the addition of Max in season 2 because she's just this like cool like skateboarding, arcade, game
Yeah.
playing. And I love that she like stands up for herself when the boys aren't being very nice to her. And I love that she stands up for herself against her psychotic brother Billy.
You cry.
He is absolutely crazy. And then obviously Joyce. I already talked about my love for Joyce.
Ow! It's hot on that part.
Youchies. No, I think right now, especially like Stranger Things does a great job, but like I think a lot of our culture is really building up to make sure that women have really cool, strong role models, and this show takes a forefront for that, where you have a really strong, like single mother, you have a really protective big sister, you have friends that care, you have like people who can be whatever they want to be. Like you have a BA skater chick.
And I love that like the boys fully integrate the two girls as part of their friend circle. Like
Right.
like 11
It's not like the
is-
boys and then the girls. It's
Yeah,
they were
like,
friends.
They're friends, and that makes me very happy. And it's a series that I can't wait for my daughter to be like maybe a year older so I can watch it with her.
Yay!
Have a show to geek out about with them.
Well, guys, what do you think? Is it time for waffles?
Yes. We have so many waffles.
Let's go eat them!